Hello, my name is Mariana and this is a reading for Aquarius. So Aquarius, I've done your reading with my own deck, one that I made a few years ago, and it's been guiding me since then. So the cards you'll see are from this deck. And today, Aquarius, for you, the message really clearly, you're going through a really big shift, and I feel like it's very emotional, but it has a lot of practicalities and picking up the pieces that were scattered all around you, because I feel like you're going through a really big transformation in your life, like, you know, a 180. If you look back from this moment, I feel like whatever is coming next is very different. So we start off your message with the Death card, right? So this is this big shift, this big transformation. And as soon as this card jumped out, it felt very serious, very it's almost like you're having to deal with something that requires your full responsibility, your full maturity. Is something that is so big and important that you cannot deny, you cannot turn your sight, right? Turn a blind eye, is that the expression, right? Because I feel like here there's something that is unavoidable, is inevitable, is it has to happen, right? This shift has to happen, and it's coming with a lot of density and intensity and seriousness, right? So this setting the tone, this Death card opening up your reading today, it feels to me that it's a very serious moment of big transformation in your life. And so when the card that followed jumped out, I started to understand why. So the World card followed, right? So let's talk about this death and rebirth, but particularly the death part of it, right? Leaving the old stuff behind, leaving the old you behind. And you know, this completion in the traditional meaning of tarot, the World card is the last major arcana. So yes, it is coming with this completion, this ending that is really big. It's like this really big, not chapter in your life that is ending, but it's like a whole new book that is opening up. So you have to close that book. And so this is the general introduction to your reading, Aquarius, because specifically what I was seeing with this Death card and this World, and also so Death card opening up and then followed by the World card and the Eight of Wands. And so today these two cards are coming up with this, well, this visual image for me of this crystal ball, multifaceted. And it was interesting because when this card jumped out, I was looking at my books on the shelf, and one of them that really just caught my attention was a cover that has a lot of fragments of a face, right? So it's maybe I should show you. Wait a second. I'll show you actually two things that are really important to make you see, to understand what I'm seeing. So just a second. So I'm back. Sorry about that. So the book that I was telling you about is this one, right? So all of these fragments of a face on the cover of this book. And you know, just the side of it was really getting my attention, while this Death card jumped out, and straight away I felt like this death of facets of you. That's what I heard. You know, facets of you are dying. And when this world came with this Eight of Wands, what I was seeing specifically with these two was, oops, oh my god, okay. So what I was seeing with this world card was this. I don't know if you've seen something like this, but it's like a multifaceted crystal ball, right? That you hang over a window or something to reflect the light in, you know, multiple directions. So anyway, I was just getting lost there because here I was seeing all of these facets, right? But here the message was very clear with this death of many of your facets, because the way that I was seeing was that this crystal ball, this crystal multifaceted ball was being fragmented into many pieces of glass, is how I saw this Eight of Wands. You know, the scattered pieces that I talked about in the beginning was coming from this card, because it's almost like each of these squares are these facets, and they're here, right? And the angst or the anxiety that I was feeling with these two cards was, first of all, like a shock, like this surprise, but this really not so good surprise, you know. And then you staring at all of these pieces on the floor, or, you know, trying to piece them together, trying to see them as, you know, their individual facets, trying to fit them together, trying to, you know, as if you were trying to piece together a puzzle. And here it seems like they could fit together, but for some reason you're not seeing how. And I feel like the reason that you're not seeing how is because there is some sort of imbalance within you that is being exposed, you know, because of this, the breaking down of this multifaceted crystal ball, right, with the World card, and you seeing all of these pieces on the floor exposed, you know, just individually, like separated. I feel like you're understanding that there was something that was not in balance, right? That was not aligned. I feel like there was some sort of because with this Six of Cups that followed this world and the Eight of Wands, I was getting two things. One, this shock, this emotional shock, this wave of, you know, hitting you in a very unexpected but unpleasant way in the first moment when this world breaks apart, right? Your world breaking apart is how it's coming through right now. And, you know, you feeling fragmented, as I was seeing here, right? You feeling very fragmented and torn apart, right? Your world being torn apart, but also you, because these are your facets of yourself. That, because what I was the two words that came together with this death card once these two came along was fake facets. And, you know, perhaps this is too harsh, but that's where the seriousness of this card comes along, because I feel like this is where you have to take responsibility, right? Because sometimes we do we act in a way that is socially acceptable, or, you know, we turn down our feelings, right, to be accepted or to belong, or either way, I feel like there were fake facets of you that must die right now, okay? So, and remember, these two being, you know, the two first cards of your reading, it's something that you cannot hold back, right? This is an ending that must happen. But I feel like in the first moment, you are in shock, right? You're trying to see how you can glue all of these pieces together, how you can bring all of these pieces, these glass pieces, right? That are now broken, that are now fragmented, that are now scattered. So you're, I feel like emotionally you have suffered this hit, right? So I feel like until this point, I didn't see you acting upon anything of, you know, trying to do anything here to put these pieces together. I was just feeling a lot of anxiety and a lot of, you know, emotional triggers, like these unpleasant feelings of not knowing where to begin. But with the card that followed this Six of Cups, being this Eight of Pentacles, another 8, right? So we have the 8 of Wands representing all of these pieces scattered, like these glass fragments of your crystal ball, your world, yourself, right? Your facets. And trying to see how could they fit together. And because of this 8 of Pentacles here, I feel like this is where you are beginning a movement, beginning to take action in a very practical sense. That's why I'm saying that there is a lot of practicalities and, you know, detailed movements or detailed actions. And I don't know why this detailed action is so important, but I feel like here it's almost like you have to be so focused and so you have to really pay attention to each of these fragments to find how they fit together again. Although here what I'm getting also with this 8 of Pentacles is that it doesn't really matter the order that you put them back, because you see here, to me, the difference between these two 8s is that in the moment that they break, it's almost like they had an order, but once you take action, it's almost like whatever you're doing, they don't fit in your perception, in your attempts to try to piece them together and glue them. It feels like they're, you know, the boundaries of it, the borders are just, they don't fit. I feel like they're, and perhaps the guidance here is that know that the order doesn't matter as you thought it was so important here, right? The important thing about it is that all of them are together. So the order is not important. Okay, so after this 8 of Pentacles came the Sun and the 2 of Swords. So let's talk about the Sun first, because here this Sun is coming with this World card. They are actually the same crystal ball, but the only difference is that this was, you know, how you wanted to keep things untouched, right? So the word that I'm getting is like, it's actually the name of a book by, what's her name? I forgot her name, but oh my god, I cannot say it. The Bell Jar. The Bell Jar? Yeah, the Bell Jar. So this was how you wanted to keep things, right? Just as they were. And although here there was unity, I feel like whatever was inside of it was being hidden. So it feels to me like all of these facets that were, you know, covering the core of this crystal ball was this bell jar, this very fragile, very easily breakable, and that's why it had to break down, right? And actually that's why it did, because not only it was necessary and it was time, also it was very fragile, because as I said, I heard fake facets, right? So these facets that were covering whatever was inside was not strong enough that you could hold still for long. And so with the Sun card, what I'm sensing is that this void inside is what's here. It's this. So what I'm getting from within this Sun today, which is not linked at all to the traditional meaning of the Sun, it's actually the opposite. It's like this shadow that was you were trying to protect, you know, with this crystal ball, with these fake facets. And interestingly enough, all of these fragments that were, you know, multifaceted, covering your core, here they are all exposed, because all of these triangles are, you know, these rays of light, you know, are all of these fragments just scattered, right? They were broken. So whatever is inside, now you can see, but okay. Here, with this Two of Swords ending this part of your reading, whatever is inside was being protected and hidden by you for a reason. And the reason is that you were trying not to see it. You were trying to avoid shedding light on it, right? So this Sun card is really interesting because, you know, if we usually associate the Death card with this shadow side and the Sun being the light, is actually this transformation from the darkness to the light that is really, it was hidden by a fake facet, a fake facade, that it was so fragmented that it was fragile, right? And so you didn't want to see what was inside, you know. And the interesting thing about this Two of Swords is that it came through actually reversed, but I don't usually read reversed, right? But the message that came through, because I turned it upright, was that there is something upside down in your perception. You're seeing things upside down. So maybe that's why it had to be such a big shift and such an unexpected event that caused this this breaking down, right, of all of your facets, to expose the fragmentation that you were living, you know, and covering up with, you know, a fragile facade, and maybe not even aware, because I feel like you were, well, maybe you were aware and you were doing it on purpose, you know, to avoid seeing this shadow, this darkness, this void, right, inside of you. And so this is where this part of your reading ends. And I'm going to pull more cards. My cards are all jumbled up. I'm going to pull more cards for the extended reading, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes as a final guidance there. So if you want to come with me to the extended, I'll be happy to see you there. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.